But in the heart of the Ozark Mountains, a new tradition is being born. A tradition of American forest monks that will follow the original practices of the Buddha. After 25 years of meditation practice, Bhante Vimalaramsi has come back to his home country of the USA and settled into a rural area of Missouri that is 2 hours south from the city of St. Louis.
What we're setting up here is a place where monks and nuns can come and teach and practice meditation, and a study center where they can learn about what the Buddha taught. But we're also going to have a space for people that want to come for longer periods of time, 3 months, 6 months, a year. And we have a large piece of land here. We have over 100 acres, so we'll be able to facilitate even building a village where people can come and they can keep their 5 precepts and live in community of other like-minded folks. When I got ready to go to Asia, I quit my job, which I was very successful at, and I went to San Francisco, and there I was going to fly to Rangoon. And the night before the plane flight, I went to a public shower at the YMCA, and I took a shower, and I'd opened up my locker, and I forgot something in the shower. There was a towel that I forgot, so I walked back to get it, and when I came back, my money and my passport and all of my ID was gone. So I had to start all over again, and saved up money, and it took a little while. But eventually I got up enough money to go back to Asia, and there I became a monk. Anyway, while I was in Burma, I did many 3-month retreats, between 12 and 15 of them. I did an 8-month retreat in Burma, and this was the time in 1988 when they had their social unrest and they kicked all of the foreign monks out of the country. And then it took me 2 years to get back in the country to get the visa and that sort of thing. Then I did a 2-year retreat at Chamyayeta with Sayadaw Ujjanika. At the end of 2 years, he told me that I was ready to go out and teach, but I wasn't satisfied. I didn't feel like I'd gotten as much as I should have. I went back to Malaysia. Many people were very interested in having me teach the Burmese method of meditation. But I didn't feel like it led to what it talks about in the suttas. It didn't lead to Nibbana the way that I was explaining Nibbana. So instead of teaching the Vipassana, what I did was started teaching loving-kindness meditation. And that became very popular in Malaysia. There were sometimes I was giving huge retreats, sometimes as many as 75 people. And then at one point I was asked to go to the largest monastery in Kuala Lumpur by K. Sri Dhammananda, who has just since died not too long ago. It so happens that there was a monk that came from Sri Lanka that was a meditation teacher, and he asked me how I taught. So I explained to him the way that I was teaching, and he told me, "You're teaching exactly right, but you're using the language of commentaries. why don't you put the commentaries down and then go to the suttas and just use your suttas as your guide? So that's what I did. And as soon as I did that, there were light bulbs going off in my mind. I was understanding everything in the suttas because I didn't have the overlayment of the commentaries to kind of cloud my thinking. Since then, I have developed a way of teaching where I read the sutta so you know that it's not coming from me, and explain what the suttas mean. So this has been a very practical and amazing path that I've been on.
So this is a kuti, and this is a modern day kuti, and that means it is a meditation cabin for up to 4 people. So over the next 2 years, what can Dhamma Sukha Meditation Center expect in United International Buddha Dhamma Society? We will be sending Bhante to the universities to do talks about the compatibility for the different traditions to come together and work together for different peaceful coalition projects in the United States. We're hoping that they will share what's working for the layperson, and we can share what is successful with the meditation practice for people to ease suffering. And then we will work and continue to teach online, and we will continue to do reaching out for training monastics to teach in English in the United States, no matter what their tradition is, to teach Dhamma English. And we will also expand our program for the disability project, where we have 1 cabin and we'll add 2 or 3 more to that circle.
In the last few years we've been teaching people online, and we've been fairly successful with that by using the computer. They can be at home, they take their 5 precepts in the morning, they sit and practice meditation, then they can go to work. At lunchtime they take another little period of time for meditation. Then they can come home and listen to a Dhamma talk and then write to me about what's happening in their practice, and then they can sit a little while longer. So it's kind of a new way of doing a retreat, but you get the chance to practice all day long that way. We found this to be quite successful, and people do progress very nicely when they do that.
One of the most recent developments is Ustream, and we are now getting focused on setting up a studio where we can do more work right here on site in a small studio, and different monastics can take turns doing Ustream. Ustream reaches out to the person and they can see you while you are teaching, and they can email questions to you, and then you can answer them directly to the people. And they can be in many, many different locations when they do this. They don't have to be in the same room anymore. So all of these technological developments are here for us. If we're going to reach out to the young people, to the next generation, we have to do it by using what they're familiar with. They're going to be picking up Ustream on iPod. They're going to be picking up Ustream in many, many different mediums and be able to hear as much as we can tell them about Buddhism.
Well, I've been a Buddhist for about 40 years, practicing Vipassana meditation for most of that. And then a little over a year ago, I decided to enroll in a retreat that was led by Bhante Vimalaramsi. A friend of mine had recommended that I do such, and it changed my life in wonderful ways. Having been a Buddhist, to really see the Dharma unfold in front of me, practicing this tranquility, insight, meditation was a revelation. And within a few days, I had experienced in meditation what I hadn't been able to do in practicing the straight Vipassana technique for maybe nearly 40 years and in a dozen retreats. So I'm very grateful to Bhante for doing that. And as the retreat went on, I experienced even deeper states of meditation.
So what we're trying to do is get back to the original teaching of the Buddha. And the more that I read the suttas to people, the easier they understand. An awful lot of people are looking for a path that they think is very complicated. But the Buddha's teaching is very simple. Not always easy, but very simple to understand. This is the path that does lead to liberation.